All right, I have a motion to,
Nope, we don't need a motion, just need to do a roll call.
all right, roll call, okay.
Miller,
Yes.
Nichols, Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Okay, first order of business, approval of minutes from January 13th, regular session.
Make a motion. Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Nichols, Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Okay, resolutions, reading by title only and passage. Bill number 2020-02, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign a professional service agreement with Bartlett and West Incorporated. Mr. Slagle, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, Your Honor. This is for our agreements for engineering services. It was this year was the time that we researched and went back out for looking at all potential bidders for this. There are two resolutions this evening. The letter will cover one, and to cover the details of the request for qualifications and what we are recommending, we'll turn to Kenzie Russell.
We may be running slightly ahead of schedule here in a sense. Representatives of the second firm, Engineering Surveys and Services, planning on being here. They may come in a little bit later, but the professional services by state statute and by city policy are obtained through a qualification-based selection process. And so an advertisement for a request for qualifications went out, and John Firking and Austin have stepped in here. The RFQ went out. We had 9 firms respond to that, indicating an interest in serving the city and providing their qualifications and the listing of types of services and projects that they could do. Those qualifications were reviewed by Roger, Chad, and myself, scored independently on a ranking sheet, and then we met together, discussed that, and chose Bartlett and West to continue. They have been serving us for the last 3 years, did the Holt Street engineering design, and chose Engineering Surveys and Services as another firm to serve us. And we had 2 firms in the past several years available. They provide slightly different services, so it gives us a little broader range to choose from. It also helps us if one firm is busy, can't meet a time schedule, we can turn to the other firm and request information from them. These are master services agreements, general service agreements. There's no cost to enter into them tonight. Any services that we would ask them to perform would be handled through a task order, and those would go through our regular process of approval. If it's a small item administratively, if it's a major item, it would come back to the council for approval before any expenditures would be made on that. And so tonight we're asking for approval of the 2 resolutions, one resolution approving Bartlett and West on-call services, and the other approving Engineering Surveys and Services on-call services. Representative from Bartlett and West was unable to be here tonight. They have been before the council previously. Representative from Engineering Surveys and Services, as I mentioned, has stepped in, so if the council would have any question of them, they'd be available here.
I do have a question.
Certainly.
Bartlett is not here. Well, both. It would apply to both, actually. These people have both worked with the city, right? Is the one new?
Engineering Surveys and Services, this is a new agreement at this point in time. They have done work for the city in the past. One of their strengths is that they've done a good bit of work in the city over a number of years. The probably most major thing that comes to mind was the Green Estates subdivision work and development of Green Estates Park at the time that was provided to the city. They've also done a lot of survey work independently for other folks and are very familiar with the community.
So the agreements, I read through them, there's nothing really different than we've had before, is there, in the agreements?
No, there's not.
Firms? Okay.
I guess this is the way it's supposed to work. If Bartlett and West can't show up, these guys do. They couldn't, you did, so we're happy.
I move for reading of bill number 2020-02.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes. Bill number 2020-02, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign a professional services agreement with Bartlett and West Incorporated. I move for passage of bill number 2020-02.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Okay, bill number 2020-03.
Make a motion to read bill 2020-03.
Miller,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Bill number 2020-03, a resolution authorizing city manager to sign a professional service agreement with Engineering Surveys and Services, LLC. I move for passage of bill number 2020-03.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Okay, now for other business. Staff report, purchase a duplex sump pump system for the wastewater treatment plant. Mr. Slagle?
Yes, Your Honor. As part of the budgeting process, we identified that we needed to update our existing pumps at the wastewater treatment plant. The sump pump has been in existence for over 20 years. So we have taken bids, and to cover the bids and the details, we'll turn to Kenzie Russell.
These pumps are in our sludge pumping building, as we refer to it. They're in the basement. The pit is about 7.5 feet deep. The ceiling's another 13 feet, so they have to pump 20 feet up, and they also have to be able to pump some of the sludge when it spills on the floor and is washed down to the sump pit. It all goes back into the treatment system. It's not quite like a residential basement where it may go out into the yard, in that it's pumped back into the system for treatment there. We have had wheel vertical shaft pumps in the past that have served us very well for an extended period of time. In the bids, two of our vendors did bid a wheel pump, replacement pump. One bid a submersible pump. Two of them bid installation, though we did not ask for that. We just asked for the supply of the pumps. The cost comes out of our building improvements line item for the budget. There are a number of items that we want to try to take care of with our buildings, and that line item has $60,000 in it. This is the first improvement or withdrawal from that line item. We're recommending as a staff that we accept the bid from Municipal Equipment Company in St. Louis for $13,365 for the wheel vertical shaft sump pump. Any questions?
I make a motion that we buy the duplex sump pump system
Second.
from Municipal Equipment Company for $113,365.
Mr. 13th.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Okay,
Make a motion.
Move the bills.
Second.
Miller?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Okay, council comments. Briggs?
Well, I actually had Monday off. I didn't have to go teach school, and so I went to the Martin Luther King breakfast, and I went to the courthouse, the celebration of the courthouse, and it was fun, and it was interesting, and I particularly enjoyed the food at the Second Methodist?
St. Luke.
St. Luke's Methodist, and then the speech was incredible. If you got to hear the message, it was the urgency of now. I thought it was a really good speech, and hope to find it on tape and listen to it again. So, and you sing really well. I got to sit next to her, and she sings really well.
And you can't hear too well.
Well, that's true. Well, that's why I think you sing well.
That's why I was.
Overall, I wanted to say, first of all, the snow removal. Overall, it seemed like it was a good job. But I had people ask me, like, if their street didn't get done, where do they call, or who do they call? Like, especially if it's a weekend, like
Weekend or after hours, they can contact public safety on the non-emergency line.
Okay.
During work hours, they can certainly call Public Works, and we'll get the word to the crews.
Okay. And second thing I noticed after the snow, I don't know what happened, but there's a lot of potholes and stuff. Like a lot more than I usually see. Is that? I mean, did something?
This year, we've had a lot of freeze-thaw, warm days, cold nights like tonight. With the moisture, that is always conducive to potholes. But the ice has also been an issue, as it sticks tight, and we try to plow that up and pull it out. It tends to pull patches out that have been made, not necessarily making new potholes, but it does work on those patches.
Well, it's interesting because there's places in town now where you actually see brick streets. You can see the patches where they're at Brick City, see? So, but overall, good job, guys. Just wanted to get some information out there for people. So, thanks.
Snow removal will be good. Everybody's happy. I guess you've got a plan for working on the town branch about the...
They have worked on it off and on in between some other things, and they are not complete with that yet.
Okay.
Our permit from the Corps runs, I think it runs up until late summer, doesn't it? So
I'm so happy to see one person go after your job and 4 people go after mine. I hope you all realize we won't pay us $1 a year. That's all I have.
Well, everybody's talking about snow. We got a lot of it. Is that what we're supposed to say? Did a good job on the sidewalks downtown also. I attended the Martin Luther King Song Fest, a religious thing at the Presbyterian Church on Sunday night, and Vicki Briggs' husband sang the Lord's Prayer. It was excellent. It was a good whatever you call it. I don't want to say show exactly. Celebration, there you go. Had some very good dancers from Vandalia that I didn't know anything about, but they did a real nice job. I have had, I don't know whether it's Kinsey or not, I have had some questions brought to me about dogs that use the sidewalk for their bathroom and don't get picked up. Do we have a ordinance against that, for that? Is there a law, a rule?
Yes, we do have an ordinance for dogs dumping on the sidewalk. We just need for the individual to actually call and let us know what it is and be willing to probably sign a complaint.
Okay.
Mr. Slagle?
I have nothing this time, Your Honor.
Well, I got to attend, I guess, all of the MLK events, and like everyone else said, they were wonderful. I appreciate the great job on the snow. It was wonderful when I finally decided to come out of my house on Sunday to realize the streets were clean, even though my driveway was not.
We don't clean your nephew. Just 'cause
I
you're married now.
know. Look, usually my nephew pops around and gets it. But I guess they had wrestling or something. Just a reminder, Lunch with the Mayor is Thursday at 11 o'clock, and it's going to be held at Hart Career Center. JAG is actually hosting it. They've been asking to do that since last year, so I'm excited that they wanted to be involved. Mr. Shoemaker has agreed to come and share a little bit about the pool, and that'll be an opportunity for some of the younger people to possibly weigh in. And I know that we have a don't let me lie. Is it February 4th that you're doing the first?
Yes.
February
6 o'clock
4th.
at the community room at the courthouse.
6 o'clock at the community room. See, I was paying attention. And so if you or anyone you know, please share about if they have some input in our pool that's about, hopefully we're going to be building come this summer. Come out, give your input, because it's what we've been waiting for a while, and so it's about to come to fruition. And I always say, if you don't come out and speak about it, you can't complain later.
Don't vote.
You can complain, but you really shouldn't. Now, at this time, we'd like to open it up for any member of public that would like to come out. I was looking for my sheet and I couldn't, that wasn't the cool thing. If you'd like to speak, you have 2 minutes. State your name, address, please.
Okay, hi, my name is Joshua Price, and I live at 116 Mary Street. And since we're talking about the pool, this summer I noticed there's one handicap stall on the men's side of the pool, and it's been out of order so long it's duct tape shut. Why is that acceptable? Why?
Well, I'll have to look into that. I don't know if that's... I'll have to look, Josh.
Okay.
But we think we're even redoing all of that with the...
All that,
it will be redoing.
Yeah, but I mean, just this summer, it was like that.
There are some problems with, well, as we discussed in the past, with sometimes because the kind of fixtures they put in that pool house, they're not readily available now. And we can't replace some of those parts. We just literally can't.
Yeah, well, I mean, out of all the stalls, the handicap one is the one that you should have open.
It should be open.
All right, thank you.
Find out what happened on that.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
Move we adjourn.
Sorry. So my name's John Firking. I'm with Engineering Surveys and Services. Also brought with me who will be the project director for our firm interacting with Kenzie and the city is Zach Thomas. And we just wanted to say thank you all very much. Over the years, we've been firm 60-plus years, Columbia-based, had worked in City of Mexico many times over the years, either as working directly for the city or partner with other firms that are working here. And we're excited to have this opportunity to work with you all again. So thanks.
Well, we're excited to have you, and thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and be with us.
Well, certainly. And by the way, great job at the MML dinner the other night.
Oh, thank you.
We enjoyed it very much.
Glad you enjoyed it. We enjoyed hosting. I forgot to even mention that.
What was it?
Sorry, y'all already said we were adjourning.
Yana, what did he say?
He said good job on the MML dinner.
Oh, yeah.
When we hosted it, it was a really great job. Marcy, thank you for all that you did in helping coordinate that.
I had a motion, but I did not know.
Second.
Second? Okay. Miller?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Sweet.
Yes.
Adjourn.